Nightfall in the Windy City with the Willis Tower and the rest of downtown Chicago lighting up the sky. Welcome, folks. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for the latest presentation of our NBA basketball. Our broadcast team tonight, on one side, Greg Anthony. On the other side, Steve Smith. On the sideline, David Aldridge. I'm Kevin Harlan. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. Taking a look at Brooklyn, they like where they stand right now, perched in that topmost position. And, of course, the Bulls. They're at the bottom of the conference.
And right now for Brooklyn, they are, in my eyes, one of the big surprises of the young season. I mean, no doubt the talent was there, but I just didn't think it would come together this fast.
Yeah, everything's clicking right now, but what I'm curious to see, how will they handle adversity when it arises?
So the Nets starting five. DeAndre Jordan is out there with Wilson Chandler, and it's Durant. Then there's Irving, and it's Harris in at the two-guard position. And for Chicago, Levine at the two with Porter at the three. Markkanen and Carter are up front, and it's Dunn in at the point guard position. Smitty, we have a good rivalry game tonight with two conference foes. This should be a beauty.
Yes, indeed. I think the fans feel it, the coaches feel it, us as announcers, we feel it. The atmosphere is going to be great.
It is indeed.
Given the size disadvantage, you have to have a lot of confidence to take that shot.
And also a lot of skill. This is exactly the type of thing you practice for over and over again.
Here's KD. And then Durant with the jam.
Aggressive move by KD. It gives this team a different attitude when he's attacking the rim.
Levine with it. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Dishes it to Porter. Six to shoot. Shoots it up. And again, Chicago. No good. Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far.
Well, this gives you some confidence when you drop three straight to start the game.
For Chicago, they've gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Left side, Levine. And the Bulls with another miss.
4 shots, 4 misses, and you can sense a certain frustration building.
Durant feeling it out a bit. Porter with the steal. Outside, Levine to the middle. Shot to stop the run.
Beautiful find by Levine there. Takes his time to survey the floor.
Brooklyn Nets come into this one after a win against the Nuggets in Denver. Irving against Dunn. Irving kicks to Harris. Shot clock at 5. Carter pulls it in.
And really, despite that miss, they've had a solid start offensively.
And the jam by Levine.
You see the acceleration of Levine on the dribble drive. That's hard to contain.
Now we'll go to David Aldridge, who had a chance to talk with head coach Jim Boylan.
Thanks, Kevin. I expect this to be an inside-out kind of game. This team has a lot of shooters who can really get going once they hit a few. We'll see if they can get on a roll from out there. Kevin?
Thanks, David. Always want to get those threes falling consistently.
Comfortable on the offensive end, Markkanen drawing contact, but maintains his focus.
Now, so many people were worried about Chris Dunn's offense after his rookie year, but you know what, Greg? He's turned it around.
And gone from struggling to hit 40% of his shots to shooting better from the floor. Still a strong defender, and he's making people forget that his offense was ever a question mark.
Bulls making a switch here. Young's checked in, and the Nets also making a change. Spencer Dinwiddie's checked in for Wilson Chandler. Here's Levine, and Jordan sends it back.
Can't be careless with DeAndre is around. He slaps shots back with some real authority.
Young with the steal. And Levine with the slam.
The creativity, extreme athleticism. You see why Zach's won the dunk contest multiple times.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. Fresh from a win against the Nuggets.
Yeah, their long-range artillery hit the mark more often than not. A great equalizer when you're on the road.
They embrace the challenge as well. They hit big shot after big shot to keep the other team at bay.
White, he's checked in for the Bulls. And then for Brooklyn, Jared Allen's checked in for Durant. Taurean Prince comes in for Harris. And it's LeVert in for Irving. Now here's Levine, hoping to put that miserable performance against Milwaukee behind him tonight. And the foul called on Jared Allen. That is his first foul of the game. Denzel Valentine, he's checked in for the Bulls. Satoransky comes in for Zach LaVine. And Young kicks to Valentine. 5 to shoot. Dinwiddie with the steal. And here we go. Brooklyn fast break. And that one drops for him.
Look at the unselfishness by Prince. Doesn't have what he wants. Keeps the ball moving.
White against Dinwiddie. White, good.
And the combination of his quickness and soft touch around the rim really allows him to pull off shots like that. A lot of players don't have the reverse in their arsenal.
A nice shot by LeVert.
Allowing any room to operate, you know he's going to be aggressive.
White dishes to Young. Now Satoransky. And it's Chicago scoring again. Dinwiddie surveying the floor. And stolen by White. In transition, here come the Bulls. White's running. And yes, it's good.
And a solid playmaker. White has a great sense for when he should look to give it up.
Here's Jordan. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
We'll see if they can finally hold on to a lead. It's been back and forth all night.
Both teams putting forth their best efforts right now. This is the kind of game fans pay to see.
Now here's Markkanen. White drives in, and it's sent back by Allen. Young with the steal. And here is Satoransky. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
If Markkanen can do this, play a little bully ball from time to time, watch out.
The Nets making a switch here. Caruch is checked in.
He is definitely disappointed. He couldn't put his team up in front, but at least he knotted this one up.
Here's Jordan. That shot off. Excellent D there from Markkanen. Young outside. Lets it go from deep. Markkanen can't get it to go. It's all tied in Chicago. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return. We hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even so far on the scoreboard. And taking a look at Chicago's performance here, guys, what have they been doing or not doing?
I mean, offensively, I thought they did a good job of protecting the ball. And defensively, boy, were they disruptive.
Winning the turnover battle here early on, and you see that reflected in the score.
Here's White.
And the Bulls had Boylan step in as an interim coach last season, Smitty, but decided to give him the keys to the car this year as well.
A surprise move as Boylan immediately was at odds with the players. Management sided with the coach. Interesting message to send to a young team looking to develop.
Setting the floor for the Nets. Inside, we got Prince and Jordan. Dinwiddie runs the point with LeVert flanking him. And it's Karuch in at the 3 spot. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, the Chicago Bulls continue to be a team in rebuild mode. They traded for Otto Porter at the deadline last season, and that seemed like a turning point. It lessened the logjam in the front court, and his versatile game fit well with some of the young players. Now that they've added rookie Kobe White with other moves this summer, fans are eager to see this young team take the next step. Kevin?
And David, they've got some pieces too. Thank you. Now here's White. Wilson Chandler unable to get his shot to go. The shot by Satoransky, no good. White against Dinwiddie. Jordan, and DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
Most of DeAndre's field goals are dunks, exceptional at getting great position down inside.
Chicago leading. Pass to Young. Chandler with the rebound. And here's Chandler, who brings it up for the Brooklyn Nets. Karuch passes to Jordan. Back to Karuch. Jordan inside. And trying for the go-ahead basket. It doesn't go in. Here's Satoransky. Here's White. And the pass to Carter. And then Carter with the jam.
With the 9-foot standing reach, Carter has no trouble putting that away.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Boy, did he go way up for that one. Oof. Put it up anywhere. DeAndre Jordan can go get it.
The Bulls have gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. And the first timeout of the game called for Chicago. Steve, Kobe Bryant said that growing up in Italy gave him a huge advantage learning the fundamentals and the tactics of the game. Do you think Europe's better at developing players than the United States?
No, I don't think they're better. I do think their system at times for certain players, they get into a system of working on their game. And I wouldn't just say fundamentals from an early age. And a lot of those guys are being able to practice with pros at an early age. I think it comes down to individuals, and also I think a lot of these parents and kids, you have to understand it starts off with making a layup versus making a 3. So I don't think that Europe is doing it better. I just think a lot of times right now we're looking at some of those European players, and they're coming over ready to play from day one versus some other players.
Starter in this league for almost a decade. Thaddeus Young's numbers, Greg, won't blow you away. So what is it that makes him a winning player?
I think it starts with his defense, Kevin. Drawing charges and getting deflections. His quickness puts him in a position to make those effort plays.
Now here's Durant. He had 19 points in the win against Denver.
And it wasn't just the points. He brought hustle, he brought energy, and he brought it on the glass.
Here's Levine. Great D that time from Durant.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Durant down low. Guarded by Levine. 8 lead changes now, and we're still just in the first half.
And I'm not sure I've seen a game with more lead changes this early.
Now, here's Dunn. He's still scoreless so far in this one. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Dunn. And the upcoming schedule for Brooklyn. On Monday, they'll be taking on Victor Oladipo and the Indiana Pacers. And then on Wednesday, they'll host the Charlotte Hornets.
And even though they've found success lately, it always feels nice to come back home. They'll get a chance to reset off the court. And with as long as the NBA season is, you can never get enough home cooking.
And here is Dunn following the three-pointer by Kyrie Irving. Irving against Dunn. Passes it to Levine. 5 on the clock. Here's Porter. DeAndre Jordan grabs the miss. Jordan's got rebound number 8 now on the night. And the jam by Kevin Durant.
I mean, running the court with the speed of a guard. Hard to keep up with Durant once he gets out in the open floor.
1:58 left in the second quarter. Dunn against Irving. And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen. Let's check out some of the best shooting teams out there. In third, the Nets.
So patient on the offensive end. I mean, they're not going to force shots, and it's that selectiveness that's yielded such an impressive field goal percentage.
Now a timeout call by Brooklyn. This their first chance to take a look at the Bulls this season.
And as you would expect, they came out on top in last season's series against this club, but no reason to expect anything different this time around.
They just seem to match up very well whenever they play these guys. You can tell they have a ton of confidence.
Chicago making a switch here. Markkanen's checked in. Then for the Nets, Jared Allen comes in for DeAndre Jordan. And it's Prince in for Wilson Chandler.
Finding a little rhythm here that they have to like where they're at.
They're playing well. They're building momentum. This is how they can turn a small lead into a big one.
Took him no time at all on that one. 6 points for Zach LaVine.
This is the capability Zach LaVine has. Can score on all three levels.
Irving against Dunn. Back to Durant. And then Durant with the jam.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Bulls trailed by 8. Dunn attacking. The kick out to Porter. Again, Chicago.
Known for his range, then also the length at the rim. But Porter showing us he can do it in the mid-range.
Irving finds KD. Back to Irving. And there's the whistle. That goes on Chris Dunn. That is his first foul of the game. Some changes for Chicago. Valentine's checked in for Young. And it's White in for Dunn. And that one's good, Irving.
Gradually starting to put pressure on this defense. That's his second from downtown this quarter. 3 for the game.
And stolen by Kyrie Irving. It's Durant on the wing. Guarded by Porter. White against Irving. Kicks it out to Prince. Launches it. Chicago grabs the miss. This game coming after a loss against the Bucks.
I mean, in the modern era, you have to be able to stretch the floor or you're going to struggle.
Reason why, that opens up driving lanes. Makes it dangerous for teams to W in the post. The offense becomes more dynamic.
And so it's the Brooklyn Nets with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks a lot, Katie. It looks like you guys were able to build as the half went along. What happened out there?
Well, we stayed with our defense, and I think we were a little lazy to end that first quarter. We just came out and made them shoot tough shots, and rebound the basketball and get some easy points.
Certainly showed in the second quarter. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, folks. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, and let's talk the first half. It was a fast pace for Brooklyn at the outset. They had intensity in their eyes and fire in their bellies as they started things out on a 7-0 run. They were able to string together a nice set of offensive plays to finish the quarter, making their last 4 shots. In the second quarter, they continued to trade punches and won the exchange, finishing with a 6-point advantage at the break. And from what we saw so far from the Nets, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
They were really efficient on offense, shared the basketball well, great shot selection. That accounted for a high field goal percentage in the first half.
And Shaq, what'd you think about Chicago?
Well, one thing happened that really helped them out. Their bench came in and played absolutely beautiful. Gave them a huge boost. Not just trying to hold court, but actually putting points on the scoreboard. This guy should be starting, Ernie.
And that's going to do it for us here. The second half of action is coming your way.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. You look at Kyrie Irving in this game, he has been everywhere.
Well, through the first two, he has been nothing short of a marksman from deep.
What can you say? Shooting is a premium in this league, and you can see why.
Bulls trail by 6. Markkanen and Carter are up front. Levine at the 2 with Porter at the 3. And it's done in at the point. And that's the group for Jim Boylan as we begin the second half. Now here's Levine. It falls for his 5th field goal of the night. Now shooting 5 for 8.
The question for Zach Levine coming in, will he get strong enough? There's your answer.
Irving passes to KD. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
And Steve, it is so rare to see someone as agile at the rim as KD.
You're so right, Kevin. And now he can take contact, adjust in midair, and still convert with ease. Also can slam it down if he gets a step. His great field goal percentage over the years is because he's an elite finisher at the rim and mid-range.
Now here's Levine. 11 points in the game. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's going to be on DeAndre Jordan.
Drafted 13th overall because of his great length and athleticism. Zach Levine has really rounded out his skill set.
And Smitty, with all that he's been through, you can't question Zach Levine's love of the game.
You're so right. It's crazy to think Levine wasn't even a starter in college, but he's worked so hard to improve. The way he has fought back from injuries and continually dedicated himself to the game, something to admire.
Count it. Levine's got 6 in the quarter.
And we've seen this before. Zach with the ability to put up points in bunches.
Here's KD. It's good again, and the next one, 7 for 8 shooting night so far.
Aggressive move coming out of the half, penetrating into the heart of the defense.
That was a good play call, attacking with the right guy in the right situation.
Carter kicks to Levine. The kick out to Porter. A 3-pointer off the mark.
Okay, that's frustrating. You work hard to get these open looks. You know he liked that one back.
Here's KD. Here's Jordan. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. Chance now for a 3-point play. It's on Lauri Markkanen.
What I like about that play, DeAndre Jordan not just looking to corral the miss, he's looking to finish the job.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight. Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Odions Kurucs, he's checked in for Durant. Karis LeVert comes in for Joe Harris. And Dinwiddie subbed in for Kyrie Irving. Dunn, wide open, he fires. Another one falls for Chicago.
3 out of 4 coming out of the half, showing good execution on the offensive end.
Pops it up for Jordan, and it's Jordan with the jam.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop. Dunn passes to Markkanen. Now the dish to Levine. Knocked loose. Stolen by LeVert. In transition, here come the Nets. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Excellent on both ends of that play.
Yeah, the steal was sharp, but the slam topped it off.
Turning defense into offense. Every coach talks about it. Perfect example right there.
And with a break in the action, let's look at the stats for DeAndre Jordan. First in rebounding, and he's also ranked in the top 10 in blocks per game. No trespassing when he's in the lane.
And just going back real quick to the fact that he's tops in the league in rebounds, what a tremendous feat. What a monster he is in the paint. Now here's Dinwiddie. Zach Levine unable to get his last shot to go. And then Levine with the jam.
So fluid, so smooth. Levine breaking ankles out here.
Chicago making some changes. Young comes in for Markkanen, and Zedaransky subbed in for Dunn. Jared Allen's checked in for Brooklyn. Torian Prince comes in for Wilson Chandler. So Steve, the league has done a pretty good job of curbing player altercations. Some guys, always though, it seems, are going to be ready to go toe-to-toe and will not back down.
Patrick Beverly, Kevin, Draymond Green, James Johnson.
Yeah.
Those guys come to mind. They are ready to go from the tip. They are ready to go.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
For Brooklyn, they have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2 so far.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
The free throw drops for Dinwiddie. You know, Smitty, the NBA more active now in developing players before they enter the NBA. Not just the fundamentals, but the values of the game.
Yeah, I think it's a good move. The league has been taking a hands-on approach. There's nothing wrong with teaching the next generation life lessons about the sport and through the sport.
White, he's checked in for Zach LaVine. And Prince comes to help. White against Prince. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And it's sent back by Allen. Satoransky against Dinwiddie. Here's Prince. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It's going to be on Wendell Carter.
Certain things make Prince a tough cover. Strength, long arms, quickness that can surprise you.
Denzel Valentine, he's checked in for the Bulls. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, there's not a lot of NBA players who come from Finland. Now there's Lauri Markkanen. Before him, there was Hanno Matala, who was actually Lauri's high school coach. Markkanen is soft-spoken and family-focused, but he says everything starts from basketball. All the decisions I make are based on if it helps me on the basketball court. Kevin?
Terrific attitude. David, thanks. Dinwiddie to the paint. Karuch passes to Prince, and he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
Not just hanging out on the perimeter, Prince showing his versatility and can challenge you at the rim.
White finds Porter. And they get it. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. And with Otto Porter, the skills are always apparent with his play. And Smitty, you just like when he's playing aggressively on the floor.
Yeah, it's something that his former coach, Scott Brooks, was always trying to promote to Porter. When he becomes more than just a catch-and-shoot threat, that's when his game is at his best.
Lauri Markkanen's checked in for Valentine. Joe Harris is checked in for the Nets. Good defensive work there by Young.
Great defensive effort, just saved a basket.
You know what? This is why you never give up on a play. You don't know what's going to happen.
Playing with high energy, outworking the defense up the floor.
And I just love it when the fast break results in a high percentage look. Not always the case these days.
And there's the defensive 3-second call. The Nets have gone 4 for 5 from the charity stripe in this one up to now. And so he hits the technical free throw.
And they're doing a better job of working themselves to the line here in the second half.
So for the Nets, Durant comes in for Karis LeVert. And it's Kyrie Irving in for Spencer Dinwiddie. And Harris wide open. He shoots, and the Nets miss again. And here's White. He'll bring it up for the Bulls. Trailing by 10. Porter with it. Guarded now by Irving. Porter against Prince. Makes it off the glass. Porter's got 6 points.
This is where I like to see Porter spend more of his time looking for his shot in the painted area.
Irving. Markkanen pulls it in.
And he's frustrated. That's a shot he can make in his sleep.
And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession.
Great energy on the deflection and a good job disrupting their offense.
This is called an effort play. Terrific hustle at the defensive end.
Now here's Satoransky. Pass to Markkanen. Yep, that one goes. 7 points in the game.
There's just a smooth element to Markkanen's game. Nice move against good defense.
Here's Irving. And the layup's good off the glass. And the Nets lead by 8.
Look at the space he had on that one, though. There's an obvious speed mismatch between the two.
And so it's the Brooklyn Nets in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. They're shooting the ball so well in this one. A great performance from the field. We come back right after this. How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
And, you know, you can always count on him for at least a couple of these pretty assists over the course of a game. And this one, a thing of beauty.
You see why they trust him with the ball in his hand. He can make the simple play, and he can pull off the spectacular.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this fourth and final quarter. Setting the floor for the Nets. Prince and Durant are at the 3 and the 4. Harris is out there with Irving, and it's Allen in at the 5. Now here's Prince. He dishes it to Durant. Over Porter. And that one's good. Durant.
I mean, another one for KD. Terrific scoring night, even for him.
Dunn looking over the floor. The kick out to Porter. Offline with his 3. Brooklyn leading by 10. Here's KD. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. KD's got 9 points now in just the second half. Here's Dunn. 60 seconds off the clock here in the fourth. Young against Harris. Young passes to Dunn. And it's sent back by KD.
I'll tell you, if you're not looking out, KD will send your shot back.
Brooklyn's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. The shot's good from Irving. And the Nets lead by 12.
Love that they're continuing to attack despite being up big.
I'm impressed with their intensity tonight. They've came in focused and they've executed.
That one falls.
The height to see over the defense and the unselfishness. Terrific pass by Markkanen.
Timeout called, the Nets.
And coaches looking to seize every advantage, maximize every possession.
Critical part of the game. You have to be flexible. You have to be able to adjust what you're doing.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Carter, he's checked in for Young. And Zach LaVine subbed in for White. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for the Nets. Chandler comes in for Taurean Prince. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Kevin, during that last break, I heard Kenny Atkinson talking with his team. His demeanor was not one of a coach whose team was well ahead. He said, this is the time to turn up the heat, make one final push, and try to close out strong. See if they were listening, guys.
Thank you, David. Here's Durant. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Jordan. Durant's got the lead up to 14 now for the Nets. Well, Chicago's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. It's Carter, high post. He's against Jordan.
And you look at Wendell Carter Jr., the center out of Duke. Fantastic blend of size and mobility. A lot to like about what he can do.
And the second free throw, good. And with Wendell Carter Jr., we saw flashes of his potential last season.
Easy to see why he was a snap pick at 7 for the Bulls back in 2018. As he gets more comfortable in his role and his teammates lean on him, he could be a force.
Bulls trail by 15. He kicks it to LaVine. And the Bulls with another miss.
He's been of no help stretching the floor tonight. Just 1 3 in the first half. Nothing in the second.
And they're able to recover. KD finds Irving. No good on the triple. And there's the call on Chandler. That's foul number 2 for him. And so it's Porter bringing it up now for the Chicago Bulls. Pass to Levine. Outside Porter.
You know we focus on his offense so much. Sometimes you forget the kind of impact Durant can have as a defender.
Porter against Irving. Overdone. Irving, good. Irving's got 4 points in the quarter.
This is why you're trying to get him as many touches as possible. He's got the knack.
Dunn kicks to Levine. And Irving comes to help. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. And here are the Bulls now. Dunn passes to Markkanen. His 3-pointers off the mark.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Here's Chandler, and Wilson Chandler with the slam.
Timeout. Well, credit them for maintaining that aggression, even being up this much.
They don't want to leave no chance for a comeback. Just focus on playing the right way.
A chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Kevin Durant.
And in terms of his shooting, this has been one of the more accurate performances you'll ever see. I mean, he's been in constant motion, creating a lot of good looks for himself. But still, even when you're wide open, you expect to miss some of the time. That has not been the case here tonight. This guy has made everything.
He silenced this crowd with an unreal display. His ability to drown out the noise and the hostility of an opposing crowd is pretty special. Dunn dishes to Carter. Here's Markkanen, and the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him. Smitty, lately we're seeing more deep 3-pointers than ever before. Think you could step out to that 35-foot mark?
Hey, Kevin, I can step out there, but the question is, could I make them at a high percentage? And that's what's so beautiful now. You're seeing these guys step out further and further, but their percentage is higher and higher than it would be from others in my era shooting 35-footers. This is fantastic, but I do not want to see a 4-point line.
And giving up some inches inside, but makes up for it with an aggressive style.
And that takes skill and the ability to make adjustments as you're going up.
Now a timeout call by Brooklyn. They're up by 13. 1:29 left in the fourth quarter. .129 left to play in the final quarter. Outside, KD. Over Porter, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
And the ability to create something out of nothing is so rare to find, but Kevin Durant has it. Whether it's a bailout shot to beat the shot clock or just a hard dribble and pull up, he can always get a shot off.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness